In Vampire The Masquerade Bloodlines, your first and most important choice is who you are, which clan you belong to as the elder vampire Phyre. That choice shapes your abilities, combat style, how NPCs treat you, and even how the story unfolds. Today, we're breaking down every playable clan, what they represent, how they play, what powers they bring to combat and roleplay, and how to squeeze the most out of each one, all from official sources and developer statements. But before we dive in, 2 quick facts. The game lets you pick one of 6 clans at character creation, each with unique disciplines, vampiric powers, passives, and social identity. While you start with the clan's affinities, the game also allows you to obtain other clans' disciplines later through story progression, alliances, feeding choices, and ability point investments, meaning hybrid builds are baked into the narrative and encourage experimentation. These design goals come straight from Paradox and developer write-ups. Now, let's get to the clans. The Brujah clan, the action brawler. The Brujah are the ultimate rebels. Once known for their brains, they've transformed into passionate firebrands who value strength and action over stealth. They're all about being loud and visible, ready to tackle problems head-on, often decked out in tattoos and denim, with a strong physique that screams anti-establishment. When it comes to combat, the Brujah thrive in close quarters. They're all about fast, hard hits, knockdowns, and aggressive gameplay. Think of a build that focuses on strength and speed, charging into the heat of battle like a berserker. They have some cool abilities: celerity for rapid attacks and dodging, potence for heavy damage that can smash through armor, and presence for intimidation and crowd control. These skills come together for an intense, up-close fighting style. If you enjoy playing a powerful street fighter who dominates both in dialogue and combat, the Brujah clan is for you. Plus, their Spark of Rage perk lets you trigger a passive ability after getting kills without needing to bite. Brujah are pretty bold, so don't be surprised if the aristocratic Camarilla types side-eye you, while street-level anarchs or rebels will probably admire you. This can change how you interact in conversations and tackle quests, and dressing the part only makes social situations more intense. The Tremere clan, the Blood Sorcerers. The Tremere are basically vampire wizards who specialize in blood magic. Think of it as a vampire's version of a spellbook. They're all about getting their hands on blood and using knowledge as power, often coming across as somewhat nerdy warlocks who used to be human mages. They like to keep their distance, focus on utility, and control the battlefield. Their magic lets them mess with blood in ways that can deal damage, debuff enemies, or even reposition foes. They've got some cool abilities like blood sorcery, which lets them throw blood daggers or make enemies explode when they take damage, affecting nearby targets. They also use auspex and dominate to sense hidden dangers and manipulate minds, whether for interrogation or persuasion. Paradox materials confirm that blood sorcery, auspex, and dominate are their main skills, plus they've got a passive ability called corrosive touch that can dissolve drained bodies to clean up their mess. Perfect for a cautious scholar. Playing a Tremere feels a lot like being a puppet master. You gather intel, influence NPCs, and solve problems without resorting to violence. Their academic vibe opens up different conversation options and investigative routes. Expect gameplay that rewards you for being strategic and patient, with a perk called Blood of Potency that sometimes gives you double the blood for your abilities. The Banu Haqim clan, the Silent Stalker. The Banu Haqim are basically the ultimate stealthy assassins. Quiet, deadly, and super efficient. They're your go-to for sneaky gameplay, driven by a need for vampire blood that defines them as the nocturnal judges of the night. They're often called the Clan of the Hunt. Think of them as a mix between a rogue and a ranger, perfect for taking out targets without making a scene. Their powers focus on staying hidden, moving quickly, and delivering lethal hits. They have a few key abilities: Obfuscate, which helps with being stealthy, Celerity for super speed, and Blood Sorcery, all contributing to their assassin vibe. Obfuscate lets them go invisible or just blur their presence. Plus, they come with an assassination toolkit, stuff that lets you take out targets quietly or reposition enemies for the perfect kill, like using Bladed Hand for a quick beheading or Split Second to freeze time for a moment. You can roleplay as a moral judge or a cold-blooded executioner. Your feeding habits and targets will shape your reputation in Seattle's social circle. The Silence of Death ability ensures you stay completely quiet after feeding, and with the Unseen Passage perk, you can sprint silently when crouched. The Ventrue clan, the Clan of Kings. Ventrue are basically the aristocrats of vampire society. They're the ones who like to pull the strings and hold the reins through sheer will and their high status. Think of them as blue-blooded tyrants who use mind games to get people to do what they want. They're all about controlling situations with their powers like dominate and presence, and they've got fortitude to help them take a beating when needed. Their playstyle mixes manipulation with tough resilience, letting them deal damage without always needing to fight directly. They've got three main powers. Dominate lets them force others to act, unlock conversations, or turn enemies against each other. Fortitude gives them a boost in damage resistance, making them strong frontline fighters when necessary. And presence helps them sway others socially and create area effects that enhance their authoritative vibe in battle. In short, Ventrue are all about ruling through conversation, but can also take hits and come back for more, thanks to a resilience perk that gives them extra health from feeding. Ventrue naturally demand respect, so they get better social options within Camarilla circles and deal with specific expectations and political challenges. For roleplay, you could be a manipulative prince, a problem solver, or even a moral leader, making choices like using cloud memory to wipe encounters for smoother intrigue. The Toreador clan, the clan of divas. Toreador are all about passion and aesthetics. They're charming, magnetic, and super social. Paradox calls them the clan of divas because they have this mesmerizing ability to enchant their targets and twist situations to their liking, kind of like pop culture vampires that can kill with a kiss. When you play as a Toreador, you can expect a mix of social interactions and combat. They love using their charm and speed to manipulate enemies and create opportunities, tapping into their celerity and presence for an edge in both chatting and fighting. Whether you prefer melee or ranged combat, they're all about elegant and quick moves rather than just brute strength. Think stylish duels instead of raw force. As for their abilities, presence helps with crowd control and seduction, making Toreador a real force in narrative moments. They can use skills like Entrancing Kiss to temporarily turn foes into allies or beckon to lure them into traps. Celerity is where their quick moves come into play, allowing for fast strikes and evasive maneuvers. Skills like Blink let them dash instantly, while Blurred Momentum helps them dodge hits with better reflexes. Overall, Toreador are perfect for players who want a vampire that's fashionable and social, but can still hold their own in a fight with speed and flair. They have a Cat's Grace passive that gives them speed boosts after feeding and a fleetness perk that helps them recharge relocations faster. The Lasombra clan, the Night clan. The Lasombra mess with shadows and can make darkness work for them. They're described as the masters of fear and shadows, with a history as cutthroat assassins often dressed in trench coats and crosses. Think shadow manipulation and tactical control. Lasombra can trap and isolate their targets by twisting the darkness around them, making it easier to take down enemies or control the flow of battle through visibility. It's all about control rather than just sneaking around. They wield Oblivion, Potence, and Dominate powers. This means they can deny areas with shadowy abilities, like using Arms of Ahriman to snag foes with ground shadows or pulling them into another dimension with Enter Oblivion. They also mess with fear, like making targets freak out with Glimpse of Oblivion and deal heavy hits with Potence or give commands with Dominate. There are perks that help with psychological warfare, like a Shadow Cloak that cloaks you in darkness after feeding and a Stygian Shroud that lets you feed on mortals during a fight. These folks are both stealthy and capable of manipulating the battlefield, like teleporting into enemy shadows with Shadow Step. The Lasombra bring an air of dread wherever they go. They fit into darker, more authoritarian vibes. NPCs will react differently. Some will straight up fear you, while others will want to be near your power. In stories, they're a perfect fit for players who want to be dominating and manipulative. Two big things to keep in mind: themes are flexible, and player choices really matter. Paradox and PC Gamer mentioned that while each clan has its own signature powers and perks, Phyre can pick up other abilities later through the story, feeding, and making alliances. This means you can create hybrid builds. Just remember that abilities from outside your clan will cost extra ability points, though top 3 perks are always accessible. So, you could end up as a sneaky Brujah, a suave Lasombra, or a spell-slinging Ventrue in the end game. Passives stick with your clan identity, but everything else can mix and match. Gameplay-wise, expect combat to be all over the place. You can have melee fights, ranged blood magic, sneaky assassinations, or social domination, depending on your clan and chosen disciplines. Your clan also shapes your roleplay and dialogue choices. affecting how NPCs react, what quests you can take, and social interactions. It's not just about numbers, it's a story backed by your outfit and discipline choices. The developers really emphasize that identity plays a big role here. If you love brawling and want some satisfying sounds, go for Brujah. Focus on potence and celerity, and grab melee perks like Earthshock for some crowd-clearing action. If you prefer long-range control and strategic combat, pick Tremere. Dive into blood sorcery and auspex for curses and teleportation in fights. Want to be stealthy and deadly? Choose Banu Haqim. Maximize obfuscate and go for one-hit finishers like Bladed Hand. If you want to control social situations and stay tough, Ventrue is your pick. Invest in Dominate and Fortitude for ultimate puppet master vibes. For roleplay, charm, and stylish combat, go Toreador. Presence and celerity builds are your jam, with Entrancing Kiss turning fights into charm fests. Want to thrive in darkness, manipulation, and control? Go for Lasombra. Master the shadows and keep things in line with Oblivion snares and Fierce strikes. Bloodlines 2 aims to deliver unique clan archetypes inspired by World of Darkness lore while also allowing you to mix and match through your choices. This means you can fully embrace the fantasy of choosing your vampire identity with depth and flexibility. Paradox has been clear that versatility and social consequences are key design ideas. Whether you want to rule through fear, charm your way through Seattle, sneak in the dark, or just punch your problems away, Bloodlines 2 seems set to offer meaningful, lore-driven choices. So, which clan will you choose? Drop a comment with your favorite clan, give a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more. See you next time.